Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My wife may have cheated with my coworker. Final update. Hello everybody. I want to thank everybody for their positive messages and support. I can't explain how you made me understand what my wife was doing to me and the best ways to handle it. So many people asked for an update to see how I was doing, and right now it's the worst because I feel betrayed, so angry. People here seemed to think that I was afraid to go and confront my wife, and that's not the case. After I found out my wife cheated on me, I made serious moves to talk to a lawyer and divorce her. This is my last post about this because everything now is going to be busy with court situations and me being with my family and my 3 kids. And also because me and my wife had a big fallout and I knew it was inevitable. To recap about the situation, my wife Gabby had to pick me up from work about a year ago because my car needed repairs. Coming to my job to pick me up for the week, she made friends with a girl that worked in the office named Brianna and a co-worker named Daryl who worked on the shipping dock. At first I didn't mind and they hung out during lunch breaks. Then they started hanging out outside of work. At first I thought Gabby only hung out with Brianna, but I was wrong. I got a call from an old co-worker named Tyrell that Gabby hung out with Daryl more than she did Brianna. Not only did he hang out with my wife, but he told other guys on the shipping dock that he wanted to bang Gabby. He said he would see them and it looked like he was always flirting with her. Tyrell said he got suspicious. Tyrell said they started being around each other too much, and one day when they worked overtime, he had caught her working for Daryl. I really couldn't believe what he was saying. I asked him if he was sure it was her, and thanks to her being Cuban, having tattoos and her always wearing a ponytail, he had described Gabby perfectly. After this I did some snooping and that's when I saw all the red flags. All the hanging out without me, her always having her phone, and her deciding to not acknowledge me as her husband was proving what Tyrell said to be looking very true. People here said that my wife would slip up and just wait, and they were right about this. It's like Tyrell gave me the clear path and all I had to do was wait until the path cleared up. This happened when Gabby said she was going to watch a Pixar movie with our kids and their big cousins this past Saturday. This turned out to be some BS by her when my nephew who was at the movies said she was going to come and pick them up after the movie. I was surprised because I knew for a fact that she said she was going to watch the movie. After hanging up with him, it only took a little while to figure out where she went. Tyrell said Gabby would come and visit Daryl at work while they had to work overtime. These was the times when Tyrell said she would be working for Daryl and spend the end of the shift with him. After getting up and driving all the way to the job, I made my way into the building. Her car was there, so I knew she was with Daryl. Making my way to the small truckers lounge, I knew I would find them there. And after I stopped to take a peek in, Gabby was on all fours with Daryl in her mouth. Gabby working for Daryl was about 8 months ago, though now he was holding my wife's head in his crotch. Grabbing my phone, put the camera lens out far enough to record them and got about 7 seconds of this as evidence of the truth. After this I confronted them both in real fury I never put on anybody before this. When I exploded on my wife, it hurt me because she seemed annoyed that they were being interrupted. Daryl threw his hand up looking more shocked than my wife. She asked me to please go away and that really pissed me off. I asked her point blank how she could do something like that, and she yelled that she don't love me like that and to please just leave. When she told me that, I swear I almost fainted. After that I had to pick up the pieces and drive all the way back home. After going off in a rage, I managed to calm myself down. I knew it was time to accept what happened and that our marriage was over. She said she didn't love me like that, then what did she love me as, if at all? It was then that I had to accept who I really was to her. Gabby was the type that if somebody was to marry her, she had to be allowed to act entitled. I paid whatever to keep her happy and she made me believe that's what a good husband was. She acted like I was lucky because she was a trophy, especially with the attention she gets. I believed it, especially since she was a good mom and at first she was a good wife. She didn't love me, just the attention and life I worked hard to give her. That was also a problem as well. Gabby was always an attention seeker. This had to be the reason she loved Snapchat and Instagram. She had a large number of followers and 80% of them were men. Even though it was bad, the comments were worse. That's why I had to have thick skin being with her, especially when she took pictures in bikinis when we go out to Vegas and when we went to Jamaica. It was clear now she wouldn't change. Even though she found somebody who would take care of her, it didn't matter when she found somebody she found attractive. And he treated her like how she was supposed to be treated. Now that it was all over, I had to face the music and I called my siblings to tell them everything. I didn't want to do this, but it was definitely time. The first person I called was my big brother. Let's call him Ricky and rant about what happened, using as many curse words as I could. After asking me if I was at home, he said he had to make a quick run, but he was going to stop by afterwards. After that I called my younger sister as well and broke the news to her as well. My sister gave me a lecture, but she said Ricky was calling her and knew it was about this. She said she was going to check up on me later and hung up. She called back and said Ricky was coming to pick me up and that I should go with him. She asked me where the kids and I said they were at the movies and that Gabby was to pick them up. She wasn't happy about the kids being with her, but in my state of mind there was nothing we could do. After hanging up I started to drift off to sleep until I heard my brother Ricky pulling up. Opening the door I saw my brother walking up to me with a bag and his toolbox in his hands. My brother is a very intimidating looking guy. He used to play football in high school and college, but with his bald head and beard, he looked like he came out of the military. He then walked up to me and gave me a big hug. Me and my brother always played the tough guy role with our feelings, but I was teary-eyed because we both knew this was what I needed. After the hug he told me he stopped at a store and he bought me new locks for the house. He said the last thing I needed was to leave and Gabby came in later and took everything. After an hour of talking and changing the locks, we left for Ricky's house. Ricky and his girlfriend treated me great and did their best to cheer me up all weekend. My sister Gina came over as well to talk to me. After contacting everybody else in my family, I couldn't help but relive what I saw. I was hoping to catch my wife confessing or something like that, but the opportunity to catch her came sooner than I expected. And after she said she didn't love that way, I just wanted revenge for how she played me that day. Payback was burning inside me and I was going to take this craziness. I wasn't done with this yet. That Sunday, Gabby's sister actually called me. At first my brother didn't want me to answer, but I had to remind him that my kids were over there. After walking out the room I answered the call. After picking up the call, her sister, let's call her Christina, asked me what was going on. She said her sister wouldn't go back to the house, but didn't want to say why. After telling her the truth that I caught her cheating on me at my job, there was a few seconds of silence. After that she started denying it, saying that I was lying to her sister. After letting her rant I told her to hang up and that I was going to show her the proof. She started saying something but I angrily hung up. After that I sent her the video and didn't hear from her the rest of that day. After that, I spent the rest of the day trying to relax. When Monday came I went to work and went to see my supervisor about Daryl and Gabby. Surprised, he gave me a testimony sheet to make my complaint. While I was filling out the paperwork he said he was sorry to hear this and asked me if I was sure this was happening. Angry, I said yeah, and asked him did he wanted me to show him the video I took. Surprised, he asked me if I actually had evidence of this and I said yes. Reaching out he told back the form I was filling out and said it wouldn't be needed anymore. He picked up the phone and talked to somebody about the situation. After he hung up and said he called up the manager and said send the video to his email, he'd take care of it when the boss visits the facility in a couple days. I told him fine, but I wasn't going to come to work for those days and he said he was just about to suggest that. A couple days ago, Gabby's sister Christina finally called me back and it surprised me. She said talk to Gabby, and Christina wanted me to talk to Gabby that night because the kids wanted to come home. I said I'd take my kids, but I don't want to talk to Gabby because there's nothing to talk about. She said she knew Gabby messed up, but to her, I was supposed to be the more reasonable one and to think about the family. Somehow I felt like I was the unreasonable one. I told her I wasn't talking to her because she cheated with my coworker and embarrassed me at my job. I told Christina she's been bringing another dude in my house and I'm supposed to act like none of this ever happened. She said that's not true, Gabby only messed around with him at the job or at his place. Laughing this off, I said yeah, how do I know that? I said for all I know, she banged Daryl's crew too when she was there. Chris got mad and said that's not what happened, and I said then what the hell happened then? That's when she told everything Gabby told her, and I'm not going to lie, wishing I never blurted that out. Especially since I knew Gabby wouldn't lie to Christina. Which made it all worse. According to her, when Gabby first met Brianna, Daryl was talking to Brianna and she told them she was there to pick me up. While waiting, they started talking, and whenever she came in they'd be hanging out waiting for me to come out. Then Chris said after a while, her and Brianna became friends and she liked hanging out with them during lunch. She said after that, Daryl would start complimenting her, especially about her butt. This surprised her, but she liked the attention. She said she messed up one day, because she told Brianna that she found Daryl attractive and Brianna told him what she said. Chris said after that, he would get too close to her and talk about her inappropriately. After hearing this she would play it off, but she liked him and she always thought about it. I pretty much scoffed at this and said why didn't she just tell me, because I would have put an end to it. She said she didn't want to because she really liked him and how wild he was acting. I asked her when everything started and Christina acted like she didn't want to tell me, but when I told her I was going to hang up she had to tell me. She said she doesn't know when, but Gabby told her about a birthday party Brianna's sister was having. I was aware of Brianna's sister and knew she would always find some excuse to get drunk. Brianna invited Gabby to come to the party with her and she did. According to Christina, she said Daryl came to the party too. She said Gabby was surprised to see him there, and they hung out and had fun. Christina asked her if he was trying to get her and Gabby said yes. She said that he started dancing with her, but after a while they started getting aggressive with each other. I asked her what she meant by aggressive, and she said asked her to twerk for him. She said Gabby turned around and started twerking on him. She said in the tight leggings she was wearing, it was obvious he was loving her twerking and grinding on him. She said after a while he started kissing on her and then they started making out. She said after that they would go out together, and then it started to go too far. When she said that, I asked her what she meant. So far the red flags were really adding up. She said when Gabby went to hang out at Daryl's apartment with Brianna, he was trying to be all over her and she let him. Seeing this, Brianna let them be alone and left them in his apartment. Chris said after making out with her he went down on her. After that he would always try to go down on her and sometimes she'd stop him, sometimes she would let him. Then it got to the point where she wouldn't stop him, then he got her to return the favor. I asked Christina if she would return the favor when my kids were around and she said no. Everything she did was at the job and at his apartment. I told Christina I can't believe she did this to me. She said she can't believe it either. She said Gabby told her he just knew what to do and she loved how wild he is. Christina said Gabby thought going down on her was going to be all, but he wanted more. She said one day he turned her around and pinned her against the couch. She said looking back, it was clear the day had come and he got her. Christina told her she should have got up and ran, but she said she couldn't bring herself to do it. And she allowed the chase to end when he got her from the back. Shaking my head, I had to ask again how the hell she could do this to me. She said Gabby said it was all exciting for her. And the fact that it was wrong was exciting as well. Christina said she had always liked how rebellious he was, and when he finally got her he didn't disappoint. She said he was so eager that she thought the neighbors were going to hear them. I know what she means because when I was younger, me and my brother had to help my aunt move out of one of her apartments. When we were moving things, I heard explosions out of nowhere. Then when we heard machine guns going off, we realized somebody in the apartment below us was watching an action movie or something. It sounded like Vin Diesel or James Bond was living below us. The walls were paper thin, so to speak. If Daryl's apartment was as cheap and bad as my aunt's, then they could definitely hear Daryl doing Gabby. Especially if he was taking her from the back. She said after that, whenever he wanted it he got it. Until Tyrell said something it was supposed to be their little secret. However, I guess Tyrell was more of a man than they thought. Christina started to continue, but I told the party and the apartment situation was enough. She asked if I was going to at least be the level-head one again and just talk to her, and said hell no. I said I'm going to come over there tomorrow and get the kids, but I don't have anything to say to Gabby. She isn't going to work if we both act stubborn, but I told her she made a fool of me and I'm never giving her the chance again. I told her when I was coming to get the kids and she groaned and hung up in frustration. I felt pretty low that day. I had to crawl my way back up to where I was. A couple hours after that I got another call from a number I didn't recognize. After that they texted me and I saw it was a co-worker I knew and it surprised me. I was driving at the time and put the call through on my Bluetooth dashboard. He asked me what was up and I told him I was just running errands. He asked me if I had something to do with Daryl getting fired and that surprised the F out of me. He said there were two men and a woman in suits that came on the dock with our supervisor. He said they went straight to the back where the truckers' lounge was. Hearing this, I knew they had to be checking the lounge to see if it's the same room on the video. After that, he said about 20 minutes later they called Daryl to the office and made him get all his stuff. After that I told him the truth and he said he would have done the same thing. He asked me when I was coming back and I said I'd come on Friday and work a half day. He said cool and that he'd talk to me later. I was so happy I made dinner for myself that night. Now all I had to really focus on is the divorce. The next day was the day I had to pick up my kids and I kinda dreaded it. It's been days since I saw her and my brother Ricky made sure to be with me just in case. When I got there my kids actually jumped up and were happy to see me. They said their mother was being mean to them and was ignoring them so they wanted to come home. Looking over I saw Gabby in the kitchen on her cell phone with her sister ignoring me. I told them to go ahead and get in my car and my oldest daughter asked if she could bring her iPad with her. When I said yes, Gabby snapped and said no, because she told her it had to stay with Gabby. I told Gabby she's not going to lose it because I'd have it, she still said no. She said she bought it, so it stays with her until they come back. My daughter was getting emotionally upset so I told her to wait in the car. When she walked out I told her I can't believe she would be this petty. After that it caused a huge argument and I didn't hold back this time. I called her a hoe, and she said I was a snitch for getting Daryl fired from her job. I said she claimed she didn't know Daryl like that and she said F you, and went to cry to my mama. She said I was lucky she looked my way. She said me and Daryl could have fought or something and I didn't have to get him fired. I said I fight for real women and thots don't get that luxury. After that called me dusty and real lame and she don't love a lame guy. Getting angry I saw a glass with orange juice in it and the juice at her and she barely dodged it. Looking at me in shock she threw a fork at my head but missed. After all that we got broken up by my brother, Christina and Christina's friend who was there. Gabby yelled out she didn't me and kept yelling out next. Next. And my brother practically picked me up and got me on the porch. After calming down, I left because I used up all my energy and I couldn't fight my brother to get back inside. When I got back in the car I told my daughter her mother took the iPad. She said she didn't care anymore, she just wanted to leave. I couldn't believe what I had to go through back there and although I was out of line, it still felt good getting to curse her out. Right now my kids are with me and with my new locks on the door it's going to stay that way. I had to break the news to the kids in a child-friendly way that my mother won't be living in the same house anymore. They were crushed but understood. Like I said before, all that was on my agenda now was the divorce papers, and the lawyers that I spoke to said the video could help in a lot of arguments. My wife clearly is full of herself, and I hope it was all worth it. If she thinks she's going to have a meaningful type of relationship with Daryl, she is delusional. Daryl, or anybody for that matter, is not going to stay with her. She is on her way to being 40, and has a lot of kids. And he's not looking to be the world's best stepdad. If that's what she thinks, then I know Daryl better than she does. Gabby was just some ass to conquer, and when he's done he's going to get off it to go to someone else. I'm sure that's going to sink in soon. And I bet it won't even be a year. At least now I can have a peace of mind, but I definitely need to worry about my kids and my real family. Maybe even Christina if she ever wisen up to Gabby dumb shit. The puzzle is finally finished. You did good. Just keep being the best father you can and keep your family close. Your story makes me realize I have someone I need to break it off with. I won't risk being in the same situation. It's for the best. I hope you can move on from this and find peace in your life. Gabby thinks she's so special because of her attractiveness that she can go and do whatever shit. She didn't even show a single sign of remorse, rather showed how much of a real bitch she is. I hope the divorce goes smoothly. I hope your kids are alright. I hope you are okay. This woman is pushing 40 and yet still has all the maturity of a teenager. She wanted you to fight the other guy rather than get him fired. It's all about her. You fighting him would make her feel wanted and desirable. I can tell you what happens next if Op is smart. They get divorced, the other guy dumps her because now she wants a commitment, she then jumps from one bad guy to another, Op gets primary custody when she can't provide a stable home life, she eventually breaks down and wants to reconcile when her life is shit and the kids no longer want to be around her. I said I fight for real women and thoughts don't get that luxury. With this line here, you won the battle, my friend. It's going to be a hard battle, but I wish you luck. Starts going to court and the reality of everything she will lose hits her. Also, go for full custody and make sure you get the kids to agree to stay with you and talk to your attorney. Thank you for sharing. I wish you peace and calm over this tough period. She sounds like a terrible example of a mother, to give up so much just so she could have some fun dick. She knew the consequences and she still did it. The damage is done and now it's time to heal. I hope you and your kids will be able to overcome this in as little drama as possible, and most importantly, it won't ruin them. Kids don't look sensitive when this stuff happens, but they are. This will have an effect for the rest of their lives, but hopefully it will also teach them a good lesson to be more careful when choosing a life partner. Please make sure your lawyer is a shark and take your STBXW over the coals. Don't make any moves before consulting your attorney. In the custody battle that's gonna come, present evidence of how she neglects the kids to get her slut on. You definitely don't want your daughters to have her as a role model. I know you said this is the last update, but when things cool down and you're able to rebuild your life, let us know how you're doing. Good luck, Hermano. You need to write down everything your kids are telling you about how your STBXW treat and say mean things to them. And get an app on your phone that records phone calls, and do not talk with your STBXW without your phone recording or a VAR in your pocket. Thank you, I was just about to say this. You need to file for divorce ASAP before reality sets in for her. Look into reading No More Mr. Nice Guy or listening to the audiobook on YouTube. It can help you see what you missed and what to avoid doing in the future. First thing, Op, hugs. Second thing, I am so proud of you. Handling your business. You should be proud of you, too. Your bro and sis are awesome. Love when fam circles the wagon. Stay strong, dude. Your ex-to-be. She was holding tight on that computer. Reason for it? There was stuff on her computer. Got the feeling that there were videos on it. And maybe other info that might help you. But now she may have deleted them. Or self-centered. She kept them. I'm happy that there is a happy ending, a family support plus you got her kids. I don't think you were out of line with everything that has happened. I hope the future turns out to be a better one, as there is always a saying, everything happens for a reason. It didn't work out as she wasn't the one you were meant to be with. Good luck, plus I'm glad Daryl lost his job, as he will do it again at the next workplace. He will end up alone like Gabby will. I commend you for keeping your cool when you found them together. To be brutally honest, I would have done things to him that would have altered his life forever, but that's me. I have always had a fiery temper, but you did the right thing and got the evidence you needed. Now I only hope everything goes as easily as possible in the divorce. All the best for you and your children, because they are your main concern now. No one else matters. Good luck and all the very best. You did good, brother. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Just move on, get the divorce and be there for your kids. You'll find new love soon enough, just don't rush into it and take your time. There are so many gorgeous women in the world looking for guys like you, so don't worry about it. She's going to regret doing this to you once that Daryl guy finds a new woman with no kids. And that's when it will hit her. She truly messed up and have a breakdown. You just gotta be strong and make sure you don't fall for it and go fully through with the divorce, and you want nothing to do with her other than her doing her job as mother of your children. That's it. So I agree with everything you said, but let's stop this nonsense about her having kids will yield no dates. Op has kids too, and many women on this planet would not dare him due to that. Having kids doesn't make you less worthy unless the person is weird. And saying that she will suffer because of that and not Op, who is the father of 3 kids to a hoe, no less, is ducking weird. Not saying having kids makes you unworthy, I'm saying the man she cheated with will not want to deal with her and her kids once he realizes it's a package deal. You can tell already he did what he did because he knew she was married and had kids, but didn't have to worry about kids because they weren't his, so he won't be a man and take on the responsibility of helping her, and he'll just leave her for another woman. That's all I meant. No mercy in the divorce, remember that. You'll also probably get her for parental alienation, considering she's pretty shameless and mean. If you let up in the divorce, you'll only prove what she said. Well done. Keep your cool from now on and only allow her to contact you through your attorney. That means things with the kids as well. Get back to work and being the best dad you can be. Remember her phone. If the phone service is in your name, you own her number. Have her phone service turned off and move her number to a new account she doesn't have access to, just to be petty, and she deserves your pettiness. Good luck, and you won't have any problems finding someone else in the future if that is what you want. Your wife is for the streets. Best of luck with your future. May your kids look up to you, and I hope the D goes through without a hitch for you as well. Be your own man in the future. To add one other thing. No more direct communication with your STBXW. If it's about the divorce, she can go through your lawyer. If it's about the kids, she can go through her sister. But absolutely do not talk to her again. And if you do have to talk to her, have your own witnesses and record the conversation. You are at war now. Your wife isn't your wife, she's your adversary. Oh yeah, when reality sets in, she's going to have a mental breakdown. So I am happy that you have the kids, and I would talk to your work and see if you can change your shifts to be around the kids more often. I would isolate the ex to text only, with a court order. You can't be going off again, you need to think of the kids. Karma's a bitch, and you were married to one from the sounds of it. You cannot let her live in your head rent free. Do what you have to, but move on. Otherwise anything in your life will be ash. One last thing, no alcohol, nothing to cloud your head. You need to be the best you can for the little ones. If you are wondering why about the iPad, she is working on making you into a monster. 1, and 2, she is doing some damage control. She already showed her opening hand with the comments to induce violence. That road will continue. Make sure you install a Ring doorbell and some cameras about the place. This will pay off in about a week. The iPad would let you see she is still going after Captain Dickhead, along with more evidence she has not let her family know about. Trust me, it is worse, and no, you do not want to know. Cut that humor from your life, be free and successful. It's the best form of revenge. Thank you so much for keeping all of us updated on the tragedy you are going through. I am so sorry that your wife did all of this to you. You sound like a good man who deserved so much more, and I hope you get it one day, while she's getting her karma. She definitely is a narcissist. Narcissists don't have good relationships. She will be crying back for you within a year. What a sad person she is. Thank you for the update. I hope you and your kids have a happy life. I'm sure you will find someone who will appreciate you. Hate to break it to you, honey, but you aren't the catch you think you are. You're a used tire dragging the line to the bottom of the lake. Divorce her cheating ass, my dude. It's gonna hurt for a while, but you'll move on in your own time. Sorry you're going through all this, best of luck. That's not your wife. She talks and acts like Daryl's slut. Not to be harsh, but she seemed to go against your values and did whatever even before the cheating, and you seemed okay with it having kids with her. She doesn't even understand your values, calling you lame. Confirmed Daryl's slut. If she likes the kinda life, she should get a pimp and sell pussy. Maybe she'd get all the thrills she enjoys. She said me and Daryl could have fought or something. Absolutely crazy. How much attention does this woman want? She actually wanted to see you both fight. Don't throw things at her again. You got lucky that one time, and next time she will have your ass arrested. Do not give her the opportunity to run her mouth so that you react out of anger or frustration. Stay away from her, and whatever you do, do not react emotionally around her ever again. She is the type to say whatever she can to get a reaction out of you so that she can have you thrown in jail. Remember that. She had a great husband and family and threw it away. Cheaters share certain common characteristics: selfish, entitled, deceitful, and lack empathy for their partner. Plus she is stupid. There's nothing you could have done to prevent her cheating. It was just a matter of time. The OM doesn't love her or want to raise someone else's kids. Distance yourself and live the best version of your life. Wow. Your synopsis of the events is really compelling to read. I felt like I was there watching it all go down. Good luck to you and your kids. You will never regret taking the high road. 2x cuñada también es una porquería de persona, corta relación con ella también. I'm assuming you're Hispanic, and Daryl is some white douchebag. Glad you're over this, bro. Daryl is black, and yes, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't think any of that matters. I know, only the ignorant MF bring race into it. Similar thing happened, but it was at a gym. What happened at the gym? Couple started a gym membership, and committed to a routine. 3 weeks in, something came up and the guy couldn't make it, so he just dropped her off. It got to the point where she would come into the gym with jeans, and we thought something was up. All the while this was going on, a guy was flirting with the girl. One day her ex came in and asked us where she was, and we couldn't find her or him. So we walked into the movie room and found his junk in her mouth. Made me not want to commit to anything exclusive with any woman. I hope you find peace and a girl who is loyal to you, man. Modern women are straight hoes. Your first sign should have been all the bikini pics. Bitches love attention from attractive men. Lol, that has nothing to do with modern women. He married a boss. He probably knew she was one but was blinded by her beauty. Also, men pull this shit too. Everyone, regardless of gender, race, socioeconomics, age, can be an asshole. Her sister is the type of family assholes that think you need to work shit out because of their morons. Gabby gave no ducks about you. She knew Daryl got fired because she won't stop with him. He will end up leaving her or keep her cause she's dumb and cheat on her every chance he gets. She will get her karma. Just be sure to have full custody of the kids and supervised visits with the bitch mom, who honestly probably doesn't want them anyway. You say good mom or decent mom because a good mom wouldn't have been ignoring her kids and mean to them for some dirty dick. Please, please, for the love of everything, do not take her back. As soon as Daryl keeps ducking her over, she may come back to you crying. Don't do it, she doesn't love you, she's a user, narcissist. You and your kids are better off without her. So proud of you for turning him in, by the way. He shouldn't get to keep your wife and his job. Good luck to you, and I hope the divorce goes smoothly and you and your kids never see her or nasty Daryl ever again. Good for you for standing up to your STBXW. I agree with you that she is definitely full of herself. She is losing so much more than just the marriage. She is losing her kids and possibly the respect of her sister. I hope everything works out for you and your family and that you guys heal from this. You are a good man, a good father, and you deserve and will find a good woman that deserves you. As for your STBXW, may her ass constantly hit the floor and eventually fall off as she continually fails multiple relationships down the line afterwards till she is old and alone, like all thoughts that continue this trend and never learn. You did good. Congrats on the steps taken. Now focus on yourself. No need to worry about her or even think about her future. She'll manage. Right now, continue to work on yourself, keep that distance from her toxicity, and you should be well on your way. Proud of you. Your wife and her sister are all kinds of screwed up. And Daryl is just an all-round horrible person. He deserved to be fired and it's not your fault at all. Good luck with the divorce. Keep gathering evidence while she is so pissed. Especially about how you should have primary custody of the kids. Heck, if she is led to thinking about how you having custody will free her up to party more, she may go for it. Play the long game. Talk to your lawyer about going after your company. Multiple workers knew about the affair at the office and did nothing. Not sure it will go anywhere since they took immediate action once you filed a complaint, but that is why you talk to a lawyer about it. Maybe those other employees, especially Brianna, can get fired too. Yeah, of course the sister is going to try to get you to be level-headed and help fix things. Because she knows her sister effed up so bad. What's a movie room? Sorry, I haven't been in a gym for years and I'm a little clueless on what these facilities have. Are you sure the kids are all yours? I'd be getting a DNA test. Ruiz ma man. All the best for you. But you need to update us 6 months later so we can learn from you. THX for the update. I told you, you made the mistake of marrying a Cuban with a ponytail, tattoos on her arms and big earrings. I'm sorry, but what happened to you was the logical thing that was going to happen. Too much blue pill. Nothing surprises me. His sister is also trash, she sure doesn't have a husband and she's a single mother. Another red flag. Go ahead and show her no mercy, you already know her true personality. A big hug and blessings. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.